Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In plenty and in time of need, when this fair land was young, our brave forefathers sowed the seed from which our pride is sprung. A pride that makes no wanton boast of what it has withstood, that binds our hearts from coast to coast, the pride of nationhood. We loyal sons and daughters all do hereby make it known. These fields and hills beyond recall are now our very own. We write our names on history's page with expectations great, strict guardians of our heritage, firm craftsmen of our fate.
Thank you, Chrissy Ayre, for this beautiful anthem. I have a very long speech, so. Honorable Mia Mottley, Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Economic Affairs and Investment. Honorable Dwight Sutherland, Minister of Small Business, Entrepreneurship and Commerce. Members of the Diplomatic Corps. Marc Herriard-Dubreuil, Chairman of Rémy Cointreau. Marie-Amélie Jacquet, Chairman of Montgay Distilleries. Valérie Chapeloux-Floquet, CEO of Rémy Cointreau. Members of the Executive Committee of Rémy Cointreau. Government officials. Shareholders of Montgay Distilleries. CEO of Weerspa Von Renick, management and staff of Montgay Distilleries, member of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Thank you to be here tonight for a special event, for a special moment that we are all looking forward to. So in fact, I prepared like 4 pages of speech, and then I just have a quick conversation on, as we are between friends. It's a special moment because 4 years ago, when Montgay Distilleries acquired the refinery that was in the end of, for several generations of the Ward family, which are still shareholders of Montgay Distilleries, walking through the distillery and discussing with staff members, I had a very interesting discussion in front of decommissioned still, the one which is behind me, but I can tell you it was in a very bad shape. And I discussed with one person in particular, Reynold Heinz, known as Mr. Blues, which is here with us. So you need to know that Reynolds is our longest, or I should say oldest, but we cannot say that really. He's working here from 1965 and still operating from time to time this beautiful pot still here. And with a discussion with him, I was asking, investigating about this beautiful coffee still, and he said, listen, this coffee still was really producing a beautiful liquid, a beautiful rum, and we use, I don't know if I should say it, because maybe the law will not accept that, but we were drinking from the still. We were sharing this liquid out of the still. It was so beautiful, round and sweet, and I was really, I said to myself, wow, must be the kind of Rolls Royce that we need to put back on its wheels. And he told me that it was decommissioned in 1976 with a pressure from some Americans shareholders that didn't like really the medium body style of the steel. So we decided when finally we took over the refinery to invest and put back the still and recommission the still in order to have beautiful liquids and to fuel our innovation and to value future rum, because we like to age and blend rums for the benefit of our clients that love our style that we are perfecting for more than 300 years. So I would like to, tonight, it's a bit of a surprise for somebody here, for Reynolds, and maybe I'm going to call Reynolds. Come here. Come. Sorry, I'm improvising. So, because of the great work you did since 1965 at the distillery, and your passion for the master of distilling, because everything that you're seeing here is done by hand. There's no machine, there's no computers. It's all the senses of Reynolds which are determining what is the best part of the distillation, the art, what we call. Cutting the tails, cutting the heads, and keeping the best of the rum. And Reynolds, or as known as Mr. Blues is doing that with his senses. So there's lots of savoir-faire and know-how. So in recognition of this talent, I have to say talents, we decided with all the management of Montgate Distilleries and with the support of management of Rémy Cointreau, we are going to name this coffee still the Blues Still. So we will do a special plaque for that, of course. So, of course, you're here home, it's your still. So I may ask you to come and sometimes tweak it, operate it, you know. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. You want to say something? No? You sure? Okay. Thank you very much. I would like to, thank you, Reynolds. I would like to call now the CEO of Rémy Cointreau, Valérie Chapelue-Foucault, to make some remarks. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Raphaël. Madam Prime Minister and part of your government, thank you for being with us tonight. It's a pleasure and an honor to have you with us. I may say that I joined the group September 14, and one of my first trip was with François Herrière-Dubreuil, the brother of Marc, who's here tonight, who at the time was the president of the group. And François told me, Valerie, within your induction, you need to come with me to Barbados because we need to buy some land. I say, oh, really? I never bought any land in my life. So I say, yes, with pleasure. So we came here. It was almost 4 years ago, in December 14, and we just bought the distillery. And one of the purposes of the trip was to understand if we were interested to buy the original genuine plantation, which was a milestone for us in order to, I would say, complete what we want to do in Barbados. And I remember we arrived with François a little bit further. Raphaël was here with his team, and François told me, what do you want to do, Valerie? I had literally no clue. And I said, what is the original plantation like? And he said, this is it. And I said, okay, let's buy the original plantation, and then we will see. So I think tonight, and within the visit of the distillery, I can tell you that at the time, we are very cautious the way we were walking, because it was a little bit dangerous at the time. And I think what we demonstrate tonight as well is the fact that we believe in, very much in Montgate Distilleries, we believe very much in Barbados, because what has been done by the team and the investment that has been put behind Montgate has been very important in the last 4 years, and it's just the start. So my message to everybody tonight is that we are extremely happy and proud to have a Montgate rum within our portfolio of brands. It's extremely strategic. We are here for a long time. It's absolutely strategic for us. And it's not only strategic for the sake of it, but it's strategic because it's all about quality. And we know that within Barbados, we can go for quality, and for us, it's extremely important. And when I visited with Raphaël this location, which was not at all what it is tonight, I can tell you, and you can testify. You remember, we met the first time at the time. The coffee still was somewhere hidden on the ground, and the team told me, Valerie, there is something very interesting to do there. So that's why I'm extremely happy tonight to be part of this moment together in order to celebrate what is the coffee still tonight, which is one of a kind in the world. There are very, very few. And I think for Monge Distillery to be able to bring it back to life and to be operational with the help of the whole team, including Mr. Blues, it's extremely important to us. So we are extremely happy, honored and privileged to be here tonight. And we are extremely, there is a lot of emotion tonight in order to, because I know that the team, you know, as usual, it's always last minute. I know that they finished not long ago, but it works. So the best is to come for the medium long term of Barbados. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Valérie. I'm inviting Madam Prime Minister, please, to make some remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Raphael. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen all. I've left Cabinet to come here, and Cabinet is still going on. So that should tell you the importance of my being here. And I'm conscious that you're all standing, so I also will be very short. But this evening represents for me a story about beginnings and ends. And what do I mean by that? The story of Barbados is a story of rum. And the story of rum is the story of Barbados. It is impossible for us to speak about the modern settlement of Barbados since the 17th century. And I say modern settlement because we accept there was settlement before, without speaking about the story of sugar and the story of rum. But in speaking to these matters, we have today to determine how we want to integrate into a world that is very much facing the reality of the prospect that Coral Islands can no longer exist. And I say so conscious that it was in Paris, at the conclusion of the Paris Agreement, that the world came to understand that what it decided would have implications for where we live. This is the story about beginnings and ends. This is the story about rum. This is the story about Barbados. And for me personally, Blues, it becomes even more so, because as you came to work here in 1965, I came on this earth in 1965. But beginnings and ends can be just that, absolute, unless we make something about it in between. And we today find ourselves more and more having to fight to survive in a world to make sure that our beginnings do not become an end. We're fighting as we speak. And the reason why I couldn't initially commit to this engagement when I was asked is because potentially I was to have been in Poland to deal with the successor agreements of the Paris Agreement. And our Minister of Foreign Affairs is there now trying to fight the battle to let the rest of the world know that a 1.5 degree change is all that we can potentially manage, because the implications for Coral Islands, as with the Arctic and Antarctic summer sheets, are dire, and dire within our lifetime. But equally, we have also to fight for our ability not just to survive in this space physically, but to survive in this space financially. And it is for this reason that we have better to appreciate that the story of Barbados and the story of rum cannot lie only upon the books and pages of history, but has to live within the context of our economy and our capacity to provide a living for our people. There is no doubt in my mind that that story, when told, increases the potential for the value added that can be commanded by the product called rum from Barbados. And that story can't just simply be an afterthought, but has, with sincerity and accuracy, to be told. Whether Kill Devil, whether Rumbalion, or whatever name it was to have been called at the beginning of modern settlement, that spirit called rum has come to be recognized by the rest of the world as one of the key spirits, and to the extent that it has no doubt been responsible for the interests of your company in Barbados. That it also is intertwined with the history of Barbadian families and workers is self-evident. And that we can, in the 21st century today, as we seek to find a new way to set our financial and economic well-being on a stable path, that we can come today to repurpose how we do what we do is absolutely critical. Not just in terms of the still and the new innovative ways in which you choose to blend and refine rum, the determination that there is merit in your being able to manage it from the growth of the cane to the production of the rum as one finite process, allowing you to charge more than you might otherwise be able to charge because you are maximizing that value in a way that the country never maximized at the beginning, becomes the story of how we need to complete the process of what we produce. That we can repurpose our plantations to tell a story to help us secure greater stability in our financial and economic well-being is absolutely critical, rather than our being able to just benefit from the sight of buildings becoming derelict and becoming perhaps just a home for somebody to live in because of their desire not to see a derelict building on our landscape. We have to repurpose all that we do. And it is significant for me because we're not starting from scratch, but it is a question of how we take what was being done at the beginning and repurposing it in a way that makes sense for us to fight our way, even as we fight for our very survival as an island state in this world. So plantation houses in our country need to be the subject of a deliberate plan, whether for international business, whether as museums, living museums, whether as places for different types of activity, such as is being considered for some of our factories and plantations with respect to heritage assets for tourism. Rum needs to be the subject of what we are doing here, an exercise that carries it from the planting of the cane to the distillation and refining of the spirit, so that instead of exporting the bulk product for limited value, we maximize the return that is capable of being earned here. The ability for us to be the place for the home that owns the entities is part and parcel of our latest exercise, such that we converge international business and domestic business, because we have come now to accept that our business is the world and the world is our business. that there can be no difference between what we seek to produce locally or internationally, but Barbados must be a global hub for all enterprises, even those that hitherto may have seen it only as a place to postbox their registration, rather than a place from which they can do business to engage with the rest of the world. So that for me this evening is about truly bringing the circle to a close. And that is what I mean about beginnings and ends, because in almost everything in life, beginnings have a way of morphing into ends through a circular process. And for me, that we can be here to see the witnessing of this still that had a previous life, that was decommissioned, and from which now value has been extracted, to repurpose it such that you can use it in being able to lay claim to additional value for the blends that come from this still, is an amazing story. And it becomes all the more poignant that you have now also attributed to it the name of the gentleman whose life has effectively been spent on this plantation, in this refinery, in this distillery, trying to do that which you want to continue to do. It is a signal honor not just to you Blues, but to all Barbadian workers, that you have dedicated your life in this way, and that it is now being recognized forever, with your name being immortalized with this still. But perhaps more than that, it is a signal honor in recognition that that which you have done over the years has not been the subject of a computer, as you said, but the absolute refinement of an art to know when, how, what, and where to produce the finest. And if I have a wish, it is as we embark on perhaps the most ambitious training and retraining our country will ever do, in order to be able to become that global hub of which I just spoke, that we focus on all aspects of retraining and training, such that the young Blues that may be out there are given the opportunity and the benefit of your knowledge, training, and, as Raphael said, savoir-faire, to be able to produce in the future that which you have spent more than 5 decades learning to produce on this site. And I pray that you can give that passion to other young Barbadians to be able to do the same thing. As to Remy Cointreau, I want to thank you for continuing to believe that you can conduct parts of your global enterprise from this country. Yours is an example that we would wish to share with others, and to be able to show to others that Barbados can in fact produce world-class excellence. And that when that world-class excellence is combined with the authenticity of heritage and tradition, then it allows us truly to go to the top of the pack in terms of the extraction of value. That Mount Gay continues to be associated with all things of excellence is something that gives us great pride in this country. And we pray, long may it be so. And as I come to the end of my speech, I end where I started, beginnings and ends. The story of Barbados is the story of rum, and the story of rum is the story of Barbados. I want to thank all of you who have helped to make this evening possible, and to say that my government has absolute pride in being associated with the recommissioning of this Coffey still, now to be known as the Blues still. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you for this beautiful speech that goes to our heart. I would like to invite you now Madam Prime Minister, to come with me, and I invite also Maria-Amélie Jacquet, Chairman of Mongay Distilleries, to come and cut the ribbon, please.
Excuse me.
You want me also? Ça c'est du ciseau. Yeah, bravo, bravo. So we are going to unveil now. Yeah, Blues, come. Blues, come. Come for the picture. Yeah, please, for the picture. Thank you very much. Now we have another unveiling of the plaque. Please, I'm inviting Valérie Chapeau-Flouquet to open with you. Yeah, you can be on this side, I can be next to you. And I'm inviting Marie-Riers Dubé also to join. Valérie, you can come pass on it. Pull, pull, pull. Bravo. So I would like to thank all the team that work hard to recommission this still. So of course I thank Blues, Kirk Phillips, Denzel Delpech, Winston Griffiths, Andrew Blackman, the company John Doerr in England, High-Tech Welding, Mark Cumberbatch, Von Electricon, and all the persons that were involved in the recommissioning. I sincerely thank you for your hard work on the recommissioning of this beautiful steel. Thank you very much. So, we told you the truth, Mia, when we told you that it was just in time to recommission. So it's a long work. It started more than a year ago. Well, 4 years ago, actually, with all the research, document research, to find also who in the world has the patent to restore this full copper coffee still, which is in fact a design that is dating back from 1830 with an Irish engineer, Mr. Coffey. So it's a family name. And so we just freshly distilled the first liquid 24 hours ago. So, and we are going to have the opportunity tonight to all together taste the first liquid that came out from this still. And I can tell, well, I cannot say anything now. So we are going to pour some beautiful liquid now, and I'm going to invite Trudiane Branker. Trudiane, yeah, she is. Trudiane. And she's, so first we need to pour all the glasses, yeah. Yes, Moya Lambert, the distillery manager, is going to help us to. Thank you, Moya. So we are going together to taste the first liquid, and the first comments were just wow. So we are going to open the tap. Yeah, we do it live. It's yeah. Yep, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I need to give space to photographs. Sorry. They kick me out. Don't empty the tank also. So the design is a full copper coffee still. Again, so There's only a few remaining in the world, and probably it's a unique model distilling today rum. So it's really a great asset for Montgay and for Barbados to have such a still. Ooh, bravo. So, while we are going to pass the glasses around, I'm going to give the mic to Trudian in order to make some comments on the process and on the flavor profile.
I have to hold the glass. Honorable Prime Minister, good night to everyone. So as Raphael would have alluded before, the Coffey still of the copper stills is noted for its higher proof distillate, but smoother, lighter body and balanced profile. So what we're going to do is we're going to taste and smell the distillate. So as you have your glass, please give it a little swirl. Yeah. So the future of this distillate, so we can discuss it. We're going to barrel this in bourbon casks, deeply charred, grade A, and we're very excited about the innovation that we'll be able to do with this distillate. As we were commissioning the still, and I was here with Blues, one of the things he said to me is, traditionally we get distillate from a still, but this is rum as it comes off. And I think that was a very notable statement. Yeah? So, what we do, we're going to start. Swirl the liquid and hold it about 2 inches from your nose. Yeah? On the first nose, you should get brown sugar, caramel. Yeah, are we getting it? Now take another whiff. This is your second nose now, after you've gotten the initial notes coming through. And on these ones, you'll definitely see the butterscotch, a more malty flavor coming through, yes? Now let's take a sip, but when you take a sip, leave the liquid in your mouth for about 3 seconds before you swallow. Yeah? Toffee, ripe berries, almond. It's a very well-balanced distillate. Yeah?
Remind us the volume.
Right now, 95. This is 40. So, traditional.
Yeah. Guys, please. How do you... So, something very important. So, it's out of the still. Do you know what is the percentage of alcohol in this beautiful liquid?
Yes, 95.
95%, and it's drinking smooth, as we say. It's a beauty.
It is. It's a beautiful liquid.
Cheers,
Cheers, everybody.
Thank you, Trudy. So, it's a beautiful liquid with a potential for aging, which is great. So obviously, we are going to barrel a lot of this beautiful liquid. Yes, maybe we can all come together in front of the still for a picture. Yeah, please. Good job, huh? Fantastic liquid. Jean-Denis, viens.
Raphael, just let him raise the glasses a little bit and face the camera. Cheers to the camera.
Raise the glass in front of the...
Thank you.
So please remember to drink responsibly, okay? So don't go over this little glass. So I'm going to invite you now, after this tasting, to go over to the distillery house for a light moment of mingling around nice Monge rums and some little, what do you say, snacks. So please, let's walk all together to the distillery house. Thank you very much.